tax system where even better parts within city council they get. So in the past, all the council then they get within whether they calculate property tax rates, so they calculate on the area of the property. So it means say if, for example, so you get the same space, yeah, let's say like a 20 square meter, let's say you use a 20 square meter. Let's say if it is now a very expensive area, we go make we get high value. And also maybe you get an area where maybe not to high value area, maybe that area they get a lot of noise pollution and thing and day. It means you go still pay the same money, which is obviously a very unfair system. So now waiting all the other cities they will do, and we camp a property tax reform that salon, waiting local the local government and obviously working with Ministry of Finance, the local government, finance department, Ministry of Finance, they be not try for do now. Now for help the city council and for let the reform, for let the all who they collect and city council rates and now then do on a points-based system. So a points-based system basically what the value of the property.
Now let's look at the issues of where you don't admit say it in place. But again, when you look at this property, it's so many issues and objection that they come out from different people. If you think say it in place, why you think say people against objection? We see even from the local government, then call on city council say the increase should be put on hold first. When you look at the country in current situation with in terms of the COVID-19.
Okay, so if you watch one thing I will always tell you is that me get a lot of experience implementing tax system at Salone, right?
Okay.
10 plus years ago, and I'm maybe in charge of implementing GST. And one thing you know is that people are always wake up by a new system. They need for understand and find. So we then say them before begin to pay. And obviously when something they change all around the world also, you get people that will go say, okay, well, no, we're not for pay, this and that. Well, a particular situation and thing. But even when you watch, for example, we will take the GST example. When government implement GST 10 years ago, people have they criticize about the end of the day, it's the second highest revenue collection. Where government they collect maybe 600-700 billion per GST every year. And it means the government will spend per services. Same thing justifying this. So I think the most important thing is that always cancel property tax rates get for day. But if a reform get for day, like this discussion now for let people and get more idea. Because most of the time back people can watch and say, okay, well, because the other person does say so, maybe it will be the same with me. And even when we delve more into them, we will see say it's different for everybody. So it actually depends by who say you there, waiting at your property, the value of your property and anything, and it's a more fair system. Because if you get a low value property, why you for the pay the same with somebody who gets a high value property?
Looking at the level of understanding on this already, when you look at the city of property rate now, one will be really day, but to the knowledge of people, it will be very low. That not all man be aware of, or maybe people for a long time not be known say they can't hear them for pay for them. That the one day we get property. In terms of your experience and you being part of the process, doing the volunteer, you think say council do well enough for make people really understand why they for pay property, the importance of them and witness the benefits to the city and people?
So the one thing where the new mayor do, right, and also in line with all government developmental efforts for the past 2 years for many kinds of office coincided obviously with having a new president is that we all get for try as best as possible, both we come to the local government side and also to the central government side for letting pull resources together. Because at the end of the day, anyone we short, it affects the other one. So what the mayor do is that he come with a vision for get transform Freetown. And on that transform Freetown, it means you get different things there, like for help in health, help in sanitation, help in mobility in the city, and all that kind of thing. But what thing it do is that even looking at how the process take place, city council not just grab one day and say can begin implement property tax. So under the Transform Freetown, where they even make the plan for Transform Freetown, where the president launch, it's that they call stakeholders and from different sides, not just city council people and almost sit down. They call people and from private sector, they call people and from MDAs, they call people and from NGO, development partner, they all sit down, but then different area and sit down. Now, the area we particular about revenue mobilization, now the property tax scam.
Okay.
From the point where they begin the property tax, right, even before they get money, because now they feel actually fund this, because now that thing I for take into consideration say we don't fund that, so it means say they want for it work, so that then they will be self-sufficient. We just say one for be self-sufficient because always no one for the go big person for money, right? Okay. So now when they do that, they waiting the first thing then do a pilot, and when they do a pilot, then try for begin to identify property there for workout and anything. From that time they till this term, it's all about sensitization. So
But
it
now,
means sending people out, right? So apart from sending people out, waiting the council on they do, me as a Fritonian, I always see waiting they do, apart from even volunteering there and helping there once in a while. You see say they always go to tell people and say that they reform her now, that they change her from this area base to the way thing. But one thing I will tell you is that any tendency there they happen, there's more interest with the tax implemented.
okay, I go only and force Alfred Akinwobet in a tax expert and a volunteer at the Freetown City Council. Like I said earlier, today we look inside, continue for looking inside the city of property rate as we know say people them we get property them we cancel go door access invalid get for the fee certain amount to cancel. And with me again at the studio I get Imran Sela and in a commodity the strategic communication unit and Ministry of Information and Communication and therefore can talk on government in your side on the city of property rate. Once more good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Plenty, thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon.
This particular issue now I want to say government get concern on. First of all, we know stages by stages in terms of the property rates or city rate, the involvement of the government body them we concern that the Ministry of Local Government, I believe they all be doing at the process in terms of stakeholder meeting and all. What now the concern we government get or whose issue na get with this tax of property rate we people get for begin pay for soon?
Well, I mean, the plenty layers there.
Okay, we can take them one by one.
Not the point under the council. Plenty layers there in terms of within the concerns and the conclusions, yeah, where Freetown City Council arrive at. So, yes, government broadly, I mean, because my brother, they talk about so now in terms of the theory, right, the need for generate funds, raise taxes and all that kind of thing. Those are concepts that we government, they in support of at the beginning, right, because sort of think, say, local councils are supposed to be able to generate enough tax, right, for look after them business. And by so doing, you reduce the number of subsidies where central government gave to give to local councils. So, that broad idea there, right, now part of government in effort for decentralize. So it's not only about Freetown City Council, you talk about Port Local, McKinney, and all the other places than they, right? So, given that as it may, and the processes will lead to the conclusions that are already incident in there. So, the concerns are this. Number one, with the conclusions, the Ministry of Local Government were directly responsible. And again, let us not forget, say, not a federal system of government will run at this country, so where local councils then get absolute independence and autonomy for do the things that they want to do. No, they act quite clear as to who that they supervise local councils. And so when you get to conclusions, one of the first things that you do not forget back to the Ministry of Local Government and also make sure you run certain things by them before you begin to announce and introduce them to the public. That was not done. I have been in touch with both the Deputy Minister and the Minister, and they not get the foggiest idea. Right?
How about this decision?
Oh, absolutely. Right. But then again, let we come back now to the decision of himself. In 2019, right, the fact is taxes were raised by 100%. Yeah. We then current rates there we don't see all over social media we talk about 800%. So in 2 years, we actually did talk about almost 1,000%. Yeah. And let us not forget, say, if you go back prior to them period and the FCC already been gets a tax system, yeah, we've been digitized, yeah, before the election of this mayor. Businesses, about 13,000 businesses registered with the FCC with potential of 5 billion in 2020. Then, they may also get potential laying on the desk. Okay, then, on property tax, you don't go up. On market dues from 500 to 1,000. You talk about the one that we get for Go Bear, then Bear and Ground and all that kind of thing, and the car parks and all that thing, and the banks, they pay 30 million for them frontages, So all of them things, and they actually did.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and we already done day in existence, plus the 100% increase. Now, if you come and can do 800%, and I've been to give some calculation where I get, yeah, for some business system. Even though the city council seem forgets their own percentage, yeah, but it is good to talk about percentages. It is also good to talk about the real effect.
So,
yeah? Real effect as in within citizens then think about.
So, Imran, is it that when I get problem and not the government not the part of the decision or the timeliness?
The timeliness, I don't think anybody the question, and they're not even Freetown City Council, because then they say, no, so this is not the appropriate time. Not under then kind of time their way. I mean, central government, they talk about tax deferment and tax concessions. You know, they try to make sure so you widen social safety net and all of them, and then you talk about 800% increase for property taxes. Interestingly enough, more practical example now, yeah? 2 days ago, I've been there on SLBC, then Good Morning program. And then just as I come out, the one Mr. Williams, he did now Signal Road. Anyway, not ever know me from Adam. If anyway, come meet me in the office, and he tell me, say, if I like you a copy, yeah, of me tax, what then can give me.
That's from council.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The man is 84 years old. They say we receiving in property tax notice. They say almost get hypertension.
Is it like too exorbitant or waiting exactly now with the problem?
Say again?
Is it that the price too much or waiting?
It beyond belief because the man was an accountant. He worked in a Standard Chartered Bank. Now they spend all in years. So in 2020, 2019, he paid 295,000. And then there was a tax now committee for 6,230,000. This is a resident, 84-year-old man. You know, so then problem there, yeah, then plenty, yeah, where residents of this municipality do experience as a result of the tax hike there. And, you know, the city council go want to for imagine saying a small percentage. But the percentage is not small. I'll give you another example again, yeah? I mean, my brother now no say, I mean, I come up from a family of property then day, yeah? So then go do what you could call assessment for tax. At the back of our house, in the same compound, is what you could call boys' quarters. Yeah? So like now 2 single room and an outside kitchen. Now they take photos of the boys' quarter, the appendage to the house, and then take photos of the house, and then charge me 2 separate taxes. And then views there, I mean, plenty.
There's so many issues, and they like how Mr. Kibobeti, when new system come, people must get objection. But when you look again within the Act of the Local Government of 2004, this is nothing they within council the mandate, which means that they will make sure say they to work. Now, if they come up with all this, you know, things that people get the view for say, no one give council the space for let them do the rightful mandate.
Nothing for do, don't they? In fact, I think the council also get a responsibility for being accountable and for being consultative, right? And one of the things that I think is so missing in the process is about the feedback loop. Yeah, that is what I think crucial and essential in governance at any level. Feedback loop. So you know, wait for the end result when you introduce them before you begin to talk about feedback loop and wanting to engage and wanting to educate and one for sensitize. No, at each and every step along the way until you get to the conclusions there, because dandebin for ultimately don't stop some of them in there, and those are the concerns we're expressing. That even at a time like COVID, you know, certain things then yes, you want to raise taxes. I mean, you want to get taxes, you want to get revenue, you have things to do. I mean, government has to function, same way so city council has to function, right? But there is a way and a manner to do it where not they bring the kind of a rancor, right, and bitterness, and you know, residents in the municipality, they begin to feel, say, you know, you feel hard done by some of them kind of measures there. No. We want for get taxes for the city councils. The municipality need for get taxes. They need for get money. They have things to do.
Continue.
They have things to do, but they also get for factor in to which and they do the residents then concerned, and that is what central government has a responsibility to do.
You earlier mentioned about consultative, that the involvement of all necessary body and stakeholder them. In line with that, what they try for says it that council not be involved necessary government institutional stakeholder them to the final decision of this.
I not think say. I mean, anybody go agree with 800% increase, yeah. Because this is what we have across the board more largely. I just don't give you an example of a private property owner, age 84. Yeah, would almost kill when tax return.
But according to the mayor, he said they don't add nothing on the property rate. No, he said, according to what the mayor will be there this morning, he said they don't add nothing, and the percentage they don't pull out from 15 to 5%.
You know
you talk about the penalties. The penalties about
no, what are you trying to say? The way people them don't exaggerate in terms of the payment. The mayor because according to the letter we come out from local government, the instead said the increment should put an hold for because of the current situation, and the mayor instead say there was no increment. Even if there was, they don't give us some back.
Well, you know, I just don't give
so what
Mr. Williams
in terms of government the young concern or issues, what they really get on this particular
so these are the concerns. I mean, Whitty Mayor say, and I think say reflected in Pa Williams' own concern.
Okay.
Whenever sabi me for madam, we go to my office, go meet me, say almost get heart attack we receiving on. You know, Whitty Mayor they say now reflect on which I don't express, yeah, in terms of my own personal experience with plenty of people that are residents, we are property owners in this municipality also share.
No, wait, they do orderly, Mr. Kiwube.
The point is this, right? You cannot take residents, property owners in this municipality, right, and charging them for the oaths as well as an appendage to the oath.
So you say the evaluation process and assessment are they in place with waiting people in property look like?
Say again?
You answer the evaluation and assessment
absolutely.
Of people in oaths with waiting in charge with they in place?
By a mile. I mean, this is not
but
a person tell me.
But how you come for know that?
I come for know that based on the experiences of people. And me and one panel people and they will get their experience then they. You do not go to anybody in property who's a property owner and charge them for one bedroom boys quarter, that is an appendage to the house, but then also charge them for the oath. I just said that was not the intention. We then set out for do this the surveyors to the number of houses because we already been get about 57 up until this survey. All within the survey don't increase the number of houses. Yeah, we possibly could count within the tax threshold for let them begin to get more taxes. That's the idea. That's the objective. But somehow, they may have conceived the idea, properly, but in terms of the implementation as to how to go about for determine, right? I think saying that everything begin go wrong. Now then they bring we
this example where they give out a boys' quarter. Is it a case of many or just one?
Oh, now plenty, and this not to me own singular experience. Now done at the point where I don't make several times now. Yeah, not to me own singular experience. It's an experience shared by many people. I don't get tons of call. I don't get tons of calls from people when our property owners that were getting same experience there. Yeah. And so here's the point for me. Yeah. Okay. If you also look at certain names I will give you 10. MAB Group, 25 Rodin Street. Yeah, from 4 million to 23 million.
Now government or private owned building?
No.
Because the
these are not
building
government
charge
owned buildings.
Is in different category.
These are not government buildings, yeah.